What?
Hey, everybody listening to the Combo Wombo podcast. I'm Chip. With me as always, the Mr. Gimpy.
Did you forget who you were?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Wonk, dude.
What's going on, brother?
Got the wonk, dude. Drop the dubs. You know how it is.
Understood.
I've been eating these melatonins to get to sleep, dude.
Okay.
And I think it's like been putting my brain to sleep like throughout the day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just like calmer, more chill. I don't know if it's because I'm getting like the more REM or if it's like slow releasing throughout the day and I'm just more chill. I don't know.
Sure. Are you getting the weird nightmares from the melatonin?
Only one where we found an alien species and it was like a weird greyhound hybrid from a UFO. That was all right.
All right.
It was like, like a weird like red loot drop box type of situation. We opened up, it was like popped out, and I was like, "Damn, all right." Otherwise, not just normal dreams, pretty chill.
So you've always gone to bed pretty early. What's the change to the melatonin, or have you been up lately now?
I've been having more energy. I think there's like something about the winter where it's like harder for me to get to sleep. Where I'm like, because it gets darker earlier, I'm more with the artificial light longer. So I struggle later, and then I've been like, just watching YouTube like crazy. I've been going deep into conspiracies, bro. Oh man. There's one that was like, we're gonna lose gravity for 7 seconds coming up, dude, and like just shit like this, dude. Like it's just where I'm like, all right, what's this about? Man, found one. What was this one? Hold on, I was gonna read this later on. Not here or anything. It's called was it Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars document, dude? Crazy stuff.
All right. You have been deep into it.
Yeah, dude. You can find it on archive.org. It's about treating humans like a circuitry in bigger systems and breaking down family units and stuff, dude. It's interesting stuff. Allegedly.
Gotcha.
It's all fake and gay, dude. I don't know.
So let me tell you, any gaming that you've been doing or any development that you've been doing, because you've done your whole organization of your living space and everything with that kind of warehouse feature in your home, and then like the lights showing exactly where things are, which is pretty sick. I know that's
video
done.
Game of life, dude.
Yeah. So any new developments?
No, I did quickly vibe code like a web game that's like a tower defense thing that was coming out. It was interesting. It was unique. I like the idea of it, but there's like several other tower defense type of games like it already, but I don't know, just stuff like that. Nothing that I've like sat down and thought about. I haven't been really inspired to do anything. I've been doing some modeling in trench broom every once in a while. Start making like a weird like water sewage dungeon type of system. So I got like all the what are they called? It's like, I just watched a guy break this down. It's like zoos, where it's like a demo of everything built together. There's museums, which shows like your systems, how they work, and then like a gallery. So I've been like working more on the gallery, which is just like all the individual building blocks.
Galleries. Serious Sam, famous for doing that exact thing, where every single game system is on display in one giant by today's terms, sandbox level, including like the gravity switcher, which didn't like come into the remasters of the game because of the weird coding they did. So it's one of those things where you play an older game and then the older game has features that didn't make it to the newer release, So it's a very, very common thing for just like a test, because you have eventually, especially if you make an engine or just with so many systems, you want to make sure they work, but you want to make sure they all work in tandem, right? So you just want to make a big thing of just like this and this, and then you go on. The
video I was watching, the guy was using like Apex Legends, where you have like the gun place where you can like test things, and that's like a example of like a gallery plus a museum where it's like shows all things. There's like ones in it's like Call of Duty, where they'll have like demo stages where it's like literally like a museum exhibit with like all the weapons, vehicles, and characters, and then like you hit a button and all the exhibits come to life and you gotta fight them.
Gotcha.
So there's stuff like that. It's pretty common. And then there's like things to just Divergent was like when do you go from like a game design document to like in-game documentation for your developers? And so you kind of have like a general game design doc, and then from that you use that to like build things, and then you have like these test like atlases of like all your materials, and then like you write in like, oh, this is like the jump, this is the like crouching, this is like, you know, this type of weapon, so you can see the spread. These are like systems, and then like written like in the gameplay how you would use those to like code an event or something that would happen. It's like a pretty common feature for other people who like come on your team and like are trying to get onboarded or figure out what you're doing.
Right. And that's something that we haven't spoken about in depth before. I think a lot of times when we're working on projects, we'll do like a test of the systems that we worked on, and we just have like the small like slice of life for like a single level going this and this.
Vertical
like
slice.
the game jam we worked on, we had the jetpack working pretty quickly. We had the Boyd movement working for the helicopters pretty quickly, but it was all just on one screen for a while we figured out the rest. So yeah, no, it's very common. It's a one of those ways to, especially if you're feeling bogged down, to see multiple systems working together. I think is a nice little mind trick to get you to continue working, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. The way I was doing it for a long time is like building out like single screen, single systems, and then like combining them. It's okay, but like when you add more and more like layers of complexity, they start working in unpredictable ways together, or you figure. And this is kind of the problem of watching like a lot of tutorials, is they'll show you how to do like strict coding for the thing to get it to work, but then it doesn't let you to like you generalize it out into like a broader application. So you end up like having to recode things. Well, it gives you like an idea of like, okay, this and this will work. Mm-hmm. Now I have to get them to like work more generally and then together, and then that's like a whole other layer of complexity to the problem. But it does give you like those quick wins of like, all right, I know this will work. All right, I know this works. And then like, all right, I can get these two working together. A lot of the issues I usually have are like text related things where it's like, I want like this variable to like display. And then I also need to display like on every screen. And then now I need to like work on like some sort of database to control like those variables. That'll be like a main game object that goes like scene to scene and controls those things. But you can see this with like any sort of game object that you generalize, like a weapon spread or something. So instead of making like, you know, a single gun that does a single thing, it's like, all right, we just have like a weapon and then like, you know, ammunition and then like spread and then like recoil. And then you can like program out different, you know, variables on that to have the different weapon types. And then you know, damage and all this as well.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, that's all handled by globals and stuff too, typically. Yeah. That's
yeah, but
no, I get
it.
Yeah,
you can do like that command line programming where it's like, all right, I'm just going to shoot a ray, cast a thing, and then it's going to do this amount of damage, where it's like, yeah, you can get that working pretty quickly. But then it's like, as soon as you start adding like more subsystems and layers of complexity to that, you're like, all right, well, now I'm just kind of having things hover around each other that should be more grouped together. And there's no like perfect way to do any of this stuff. It's all kind of like left, you know, up to you. And like, as you're doing it to figure that stuff out. And some of it is good to do. Some of it is like you're just kind of wasting time. I don't know, what's the YOLO, you won't need it or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to use it. Like, stop. You don't. Yeah, there's like a fine thread of line that you're trying to get in between. But all that being said, I'm just making stuff that I'm not even using for anything right now or any projects in mind. Like, you know, I continue onward with my little 10% efficiencies in my life. Like, you know, I threw on the bed suspenders and just working on that stuff. You know,
be all set for when spring happens and the snow melts, man. It's ready to rock.
Yeah, I won't have to do anything anymore, dude.
Exactly.
Just
exist.
I got a drain for the shower, so it's like it captures any like hair follicles or whatever, dude. So the drains don't get clogged, dude. It's
for sure.
Just living, dude. What about you, man? What have you been on?
Yeah, man. Just
you working on stuff? You doing things?
I have I took on a can't really talk about it, but I'm doing a separate project for
secret projects, dude.
Yeah. Which I just wrapped up, and I'm waiting final approval today. Not game related. It's website related now, like for a different contract. So I've just been working on that, just like a side hustle to get some more additional income. You know, so that's done. We got done with that 2 nights ago. So
nice. Did I tell you about this?
there.
Like the website I made, I forgot about.
You did. We Professor and I were talking about it yesterday.
Okay. Did
Yeah.
he tell you like we'd like have AdSense and stuff going on
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. You guys made
Like up
20
to like
cents.
52 cents, 20 cents a piece, dude. I was like, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's
it's
starting to
starting,
come
man.
together.
Heck
It's
yeah.
like
Heck yeah.
we're getting like 8,000 click-throughs a
Sweet.
month. So
Sweet.
yeah, it's not bad, dude.
It's the nest egg that starts, man. Like in
That's
a
how it
year's
starts,
time,
man.
you'll have a couple of bucks to yourselves, man.
Yeah, dude. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was like, not for that, but I was like, oh man, we should make a website a month, and then like try and like see if like we can make more useful things that people are looking for. And then we made the one, and then I just kind of forgot about it. And that was like 4 or 5 months ago. So
Yeah.
so
Life happens.
yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I've been working on my pig game. Every week, just knocking out the next system. I've got the judging that I'm starting to get going. It's been slow moving, but it's still moving. So working on
Yeah.
that. So probably ready to show you the next build pretty quick here, probably within the end of this month or so, in this month of February. So still working on that. But just chilling. The kids have been gaming a lot more as of late. My kids are
Nice.
9 and 7, and
Well,
they've been playing some mobile games and then a little Roblox, like every kid their age, right? Which of course, but it was to the point where my son was like, "Hey, you guys make stuff. Can you make something for us in Roblox?" And I'm like, "Ugh, probably, but don't want to." But that might be the
move, man.
side
I think
quest.
they use Lua.
Yeah, they
programming
do.
language.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not difficult. So, and that may be it, but I got to get done with the pig game first. But
Yeah, I ended up
yeah,
playing Mario Party 8 with my nephews. I hung out with them. I was babysitting them for like a weekend, and we just sat around. We played a ton of Mario Party 8, and it's Mario Party. I don't know. Like I think they just used a bunch of the old levels and repackaged it in for
Mario
like
Party
Switch.
Superstars, right?
Yeah,
Where
something
it
like
has,
that. I don't
yeah,
know.
that one has every mini game ever, and then all the old
Yeah,
games, and yeah, that one fantastic. So
yeah.
so that's cool. Yeah, no,
I
that's
think I got to
awesome.
play that. I think I played just like Waluigi. So no, I think I played as Wario. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay.
Yeah, it was Wario. It was definitely Wario. I was, I played pretty chill. I let the kids, have some fun.
Yeah,
I wasn't just completely
Oh, dude,
destroying them in every mini game.
that's my one rule, man. I absolutely destroy the kids. Get better on your own. Strive to beat me.
Kids are pretty good, man. Like I was like, man, I'm surprised. I was like, all right, I didn't know the competition would be like, all right, let's go.
It's all right. It's all right.
So man, you just maybe play more games, dude. You need to start getting after it.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, man. So life's been pretty solid on the gaming front, on the development front. Just kind of diversifying myself a little bit on the outside, but we're still rocking and rolling. But that being said, I do want to bring up something that happened in the industry this week. Ubisoft, our favorite punching bag, basically, because they just bring it upon themselves. Their workers' union voted to strike. They just canceled 6 games, including the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. I can't remember if this was found valid or not, but there was a new Splinter Cell game. I feel like they always will say there was always a new Splinter Cell game being worked on, but I've never seen any proof of it. But with the Netflix series Splinter Cell Deathwatch coming out, maybe that gives a little more credence to it. But
I don't know. Maybe it's like just like contractually obligated, because we saw this with like Tony Hawk, where they had like the last Tony Hawk game, but it was only because that was in the contract, and it like was like thrown together last second.
Yeah,
it was not great, and everyone was like, "Oh."
But the thing with it is Tom Clancy is no longer alive, and Ubisoft bought Red Storm, who had the Tom Clancy license. So I guess they could, and I think Splinter Cell is owned by the Tom Clancy estate, which Ubisoft bought outright, their gaming part, so they own like Splinter Cell, the characters, Sam Fisher, all that. I think it's in digital only, because I think the movie book rights are separate, and I think Amazon or MGM or someone owns that. But here it said, but
just licensing deals.
It's one of those things where the Sands of Time remake was canceled, and the voice actress for the game, who just did promotional materials, found out online. They had they didn't even like message her saying, "Hey, this is done," and she's been working on it for like 3 years. And we,
Yeah.
we hear that all the time. And
Yeah, I mean, to
Ubisoft
be
wanted
fair though,
to.
like voice actors and actresses are like usually the last to know things, and
True,
they
true.
will record stuff, and it's like
But
years
she's a
before they
main
even like.
character, it's
Yeah, yeah. There's been like a few like people who've done like main character voices and stuff, and then they like completely forget about it, and they're like, "Oh, what was it like doing this?" And they're like, "Oh, that was like 4 years ago. I don't even
right,
remember." Like,
right.
they're like, "Oh, that's cool that you enjoy it. Good. I'm glad on it."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's rough, man. I know they've been working on a lot of stuff, battling
Oh, here's the thing
AI
too.
and stuff.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 still being in development apparently.
All
I
right,
don't believe that game's ever coming out. I loved the first game. Actually,
propaganda.
your professor actually put me on to the first game.
Great game.
Yeah, fantastic game. And I was looking forward to 12 years ago. It's
Yeah,
like if it ever comes out, I feel it'll be a Duke Nukem Forever situation where it's just not going to live up to the hype and it'll be bad.
yeah.
It's been in development so long that if it ever sees the light of day, I don't think there's any possible way it can be good. I'd love to be proven
Yeah.
wrong, but Ubisoft has their monetization schemes and everything else has just been really crappy. There
I
was
will
reportedly
say that, like I liked and even loved my time playing Good and Evil. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of it. Like I don't know if there's like any fans of Beyond Good and Evil, right? Like
no, it's
I'm
it's,
saying
it's
like
definitely a cult classic, dude.
there's people who enjoy it, but I'm not sure they're like frothing at the mouth. They're like, oh, we need to know more about what's going on in this world, and like with the fallout from like all the first game. Like I think most people are just like, yeah, it's a fun thing. There's a ton of games like that where it's like it's good,
I
and
think
then
you're understating how like the vocal fan base of that first game.
yeah, like 15 years ago, dude. Like what I'm saying, like
People like Duke Nukem 3D to Duke Nukem Forever took about that length of time, and people were still frothing at the mouth for it, and it came out and just with a whimper. But that fan base maintained, so I think it's the same. Just because you're not in it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
just got the DM from King Crab. He says he's chilling at the house. What about you? Because I hit him up like 40 minutes ago. Like, what are you up to?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, I could, maybe voice chat with this guy until you get on. But
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
man. Yeah. Ubisoft, man, strikes, canceling 6 games that we know about. They canceled like 4 other VR games before this. I know they did like,
except for the one that was almost completely the Assassin's Creed game, right? Yeah. Well,
they did like the corporate restructuring like a year back where they like started moving money around weirdly to like give more to possibly get more control or ownership of
they
like
closed
some
their
stuff.
mobile game studio as well.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what's going on there. It feels like it's like doing like a weird slow death spiral.
I agree.
And it's kind of sad to see, but also like I don't know how many people are like huge Ubisoft fans in general. Like because like the quality of the product's been going down. There's like people who love franchises in it, like
Far Cry,
Beyond Good and
Rainbow
Evil,
Six,
Splinter Cell,
Splinter Cell,
Assassin's
right?
Creed.
Assassin's
Like
Creed. Yeah.
I got a lot of
They
bangers.
reports came out that Watch Dogs is dead as a franchise as well.
Dang,
So
people enjoyed that.
Yeah, yeah. So you know what, man?
They try to do like their own launcher and stuff for a while. They're like, you have to get it all from our
Ubisoft Connect
Ubisoft
still
launcher.
exists. It still exists.
Yeah.
But I don't know who
For a
uses
while,
it,
they're
but-
like destroying some of your old digital library and stuff too. They did a bunch of weird, shady moves, man. Money moves, big money moves.
So let me
to
ask
try
you
and save
this.
some money.
Ubisoft, I feel in the early 2000s of gaming, like the
Try to do
generational
the
consoles
NFTs. Remember that?
I did with the Xbox and up to the 360. Like Ubisoft games were kind of a mark of quality, honestly, right? With what we were getting.
Yeah.
What with Splinter Cell, the Rainbow Six series at the time, and I'm talking pre-Siege. A lot of like I didn't realize we're like a decade into Siege, right? And it just kind of dawned on me. But pre-Siege, the Rainbow Six series was a mark of quality as well, but it was a much different game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was always pushing
that,
technology forward with like their crowd tech.
Far Cry 3 being the banger it was to a legitimate classic. It's in Prince of Persia. We got a blockbuster movie out of it with Jake Gyllenhaal and all of that. Like the Prince had 3 fantastic games. And then Sands of Time came out, or the other game, the Warriors of Time or whatever it was called. But
the
Shadows
two of them, the evil one.
Yeah. And after just kind of cash grab. But that being said, they were just whenever they released the game, it was like you were excited for it, and the game was generally good. The then they started just getting that microtransaction just filth upon them, and it just consumed them like the One Ring, to where all they
Gotta
care
make more
about
money.
is these really crappy microtransaction ads within their games that just, even if the game is good, it gets worse from all of the microtransactions they've had, to the point where even the Ubisoft game like that I can kind of be interested right now, I don't buy or play unless it's super deep discount, or like happens to be on like Game Pass or something.
Where all the DLCs unlocked.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a lot, man. And with all that being said, with Ubi, rumor is Solid Snake is coming to Rainbow Six, so it'll be the first outside character of the Tom Clancy universe, of the Ubi universe, to come in. So I feel it's cool, but it's also a slap in the face to like the stealth action genre, which isn't really a thing right now. That being said, a new Sticks game did come out. If you guys know
Shout out Hitman.
Yeah, Hitman, and like I said,
he's been
a new
holding
Sticks
it down.
came out, which is the Goblin stealth game, which is underrated as hell. If you ever played those, fantastic. But I got to ask you, man, do you think that Ubi will be here in 5 years' time? Because I think that Assassin's Creed sells well, but I think that we're experiencing a dip. They're working on the Black Flag remake or remaster, whatever they're doing with it, trying to take the best game and bring it back. But it seems like a cry for help, because they're not releasing anything truly new. And any like that Black Sails game, like, So any thoughts on the state of Ubi?
Game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they'll probably still be here in 5 years. I don't know. They had interesting ideas and they just never really executed on them. Like even like the NFT thing was like, you could buy a thing and then it would work in any of the games, which is interesting, at least on its face value, where it's like, oh, you can buy like this skin, this type of character, and then you can plop them into any of our other Ubisoft properties. Like that's kind of cool, right? Like on the face, but then it's like, you're bringing in like blockchain technology and all this other stuff. Like being able to own or trade like your digital items to like other people, like seems interesting. It didn't seem like that was what they're like using like the worst version of those things, and they faced such intense backlash that they just canceled. It died at its conception. Even like some of this other stuff, like it's interesting. They're like using a bunch of like AI shit too. They're getting called out on that, where it's like, it seems like everybody in the industry right now is kind of doing the same thing.
But they haven't stated it too. One of the big things they called out is they were just lying about it. Like I think that now, with like the ebbs and flows of how often it's been portrayed and used, that I think the growing sentiment is, as long as you state it, people are willing to look past. And as long as you're using it for certain things that aren't taking someone else's job, I feel people are willing to look past, or stealing their art, right?
Which, in theory, like, there's, no ethical AI because it's all stolen material, training data.
Right. But I mean, I think that, I don't know, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just saying.
No, that was it. It was just like, there's been a lot of like, even before AI, there's like a lot of people stealing other artists' stuff and then putting it in other games, and people getting exposed for that. Not necessarily Ubisoft. I don't think they had too many big scandals. I know, like, your Blizzard and Call of Duties, they're way more blatant and bad with it.
Yeah, Bungie.
Bungie.
Straight stealing. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, in 5 years, will they still be a thing? I think some of the IP, like, yes and no, right? They're definitely going to be. Yeah, and then we'll see what happens with like the workers' strike as well, if they can like get a good deal going. Mm-hmm. I know they just had like all those other layoffs as well with was it GTA, those Rockstar, where like they were like starting to unionize, and they're like, well, you guys are all fired. You use Slack or something. Like it just seemed like a really like BS excuse to like.
2K is the other just completely crappy publisher in the industry too.
Yeah.
That always seems to like fly under the radar. Like they've been terrible forever.
The game industry's always been really bad with like crunch, with bonuses, with even like the parent companies like basing like all their payouts on like Metacritic scores that they own stakes in, like the game review companies as well. So it's like, oh, you didn't get the score, so we're not going to pay you out the other half of like the publishing deal that we offered you. So now you're going to have to fire a bunch of people. So yeah, I think the era of like big swing AAA games is probably going to be less and less, especially with like the mobile market taking over more shares. I don't know, man. I think we're not going to see as many like people trying to have like a new WoW killer or anything like this. I hate that everything's always online, always connected, where you need like your Ubisoft ID to like connect to the internet to play the game that you bought and own. I don't know, man. Until people like start buying more DRM free and buying things for what they are when they're released, instead of like the promise of what it could be. Buy the product for what it is, not the promise of what the product could become. Because we're seeing most of these games get put on life support. There maybe is like a trickle out of like
after
content.
a week of release, off high guard.
Yeah.
So, well, I agree with a lot of that. I think there's a little more nuance to it, but yeah, I definitely agree. So,
I don't know, what about you, man? Do you think Ubisoft's still going to be here 5-6 years from now?
I think they're already a shadow of their former selves. I don't think they can reclaim what's lost. They hold IPs that I hold near and dear. Chief among them is Splinter Cell, my favorite stealth franchise of all time. And I've been, just dicked around for way too long. So, I mean, I'm just kind of over it. I feel like Splinter Cell will never.
Are they Far Cry? Again.
They're Far Cry as well, yeah.
I enjoyed.
Yeah, no, like, Far Cry is great.
Far Cry 3?
Far Cry. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge Ubisoft fan in general, so it's like
Prince of Persia.
Disclosure.
I was gonna say the trilogy, the top ever. I enjoyed 2013. That one. I thought that was great.
I enjoyed like Far Cry 2, 3. I like their 80s DLC that they did. Was it like the Dragon?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Blood Dragon. Yeah, that was great.
Blood Dragon. Yeah. That was. That made me quit Ubisoft because like in the middle of that game froze and then like hard locked. The other game that I tried was
sounds like your problem.
Dude, it's Ubisoft, bro. Okay. Same with the Assassin's Creed game I tried to get into was Brotherhood, and then that that soft locked me. Yeah, that soft locked me in a thing too. So it's like, all right, 2 for 2 Ubisoft. I'm done with you. Like I don't know, like. I was like, all right, I don't know if I'm going to wipe these games and then start over to get like beyond like the soft and hard lock save issues I've been having with their games. But yeah, man, it's so it's been my experience with Ubisoft, where like I've just the 2 times I tried their games, they had issues with both the games, and like you said, maybe it's a me issue, dude. Like there's a lot of games I've played all the way through, no issues at all. But
yeah.
I'm on PC as well, so maybe that makes a huge difference as well, because it's like, oh, my certain configuration or whatever at the time, like
right, true.
Who knows?
True. I'll say I played Blood Dragon on console, so that might be it too. But I enjoyed my time with it, and that game's pretty quick. Like, it's pretty short, so if you have it, you probably still own it, dude. You probably owe it to yourself.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere.
It's legitimately good. But yeah, I think that their time of releasing things that I can get excited for is gone. I hope those still playing Rainbow Six Siege. I hope they're doing good things for you. I haven't followed it, and the game still seems to be attracting a ton of players. So I hope that's doing well.
I mean, it's like a team game, like base game now, right?
Bringing Solid Snake in kind of has piqued my interest to try out the game again.
I mean, we see this with like Call of Duty and stuff too, where they're putting in like Nicki Minaj and stuff, like all these Spawn. Fortnite's kind of like popularized this idea where it's like we're just gonna lease out every IP. We're gonna take the Lego approach of like.
I was gonna say the Smash Brothers.
Smash Bros.
Yeah.
I would say Smash Bros. More game IPs, and then this is kind of in the same vein, but. Other companies are just like any IP.
Yeah. It's like, do you have something that made money at some point? We want it.
Yeah, how much to lease that?
I still think, like, I love Beavis and Butthead, but Beavis and Butthead in Fortnite, or not Fortnite, Call of Duty, I was just like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? But yeah, man, I think Ubi is just, they have to release something that is a surprise. But
I'd like to see Beavis and Butthead in more games, dude. Just a DLC character. Give me the NFT of Beavis and Butthead that I can spawn in as a main character in any game, dude.
But yeah, man, I think that being said, man, Good luck to the French employees, striking.
Yeah.
I hope something good comes from that. I think the parent company is really floundering, and I hope we'll see a release that's worth it at some point. But signs aren't pointing to it. So that being said, man, for the Combo Wombo podcast, I'm Mr. Gimpy. That's
Chipmunk. Like, share, subscribe.
See you guys next
We
week.
out. Peace.